Every day in the USA, people find themselves in court.
We're resuming proceedings in Schreibvogel. Mr. Watts, Ms. Norris, Ms. Schreibvogel appearing as before. Following this recess, Mr. Watts, what are your client's intentions?
Your Honor, my client would enter a partial stipulation. She would agree that she failed to report on the first allegation on dates in June and July of 2024. She would not agree she failed to complete substance abuse treatment, and she would acknowledge she did fail to make monthly payments as directed. Her balance remains apparently $438.
Okay, is there a certificate, Mr. Ketley, that she has completed her substance abuse treatment now? I mean, I'm sure Mr. Watts has good reason for his announcement.
I do not have a completion certificate, Your Honor.
Okay.
My client reports she was going to a methadone clinic for that treatment. Is that correct? Is that Mr. Ketley's understanding?
She was actually going to Mirror, and then yes, at some point in time, she switched over to a methadone clinic.
All right. Ms. Norris,
I don't know if you ever complete a methadone treatment, to be honest with you.
I don't know that anyone ever completes methadone treatment.
I don't either.
all right. Your reaction to Mr. Watts' announcement, Ms. Norris?
Your Honor, both 1 and 3 are substantial, but if the court wishes to hear testimony, we can put Mr. Ketley on, although I don't know that the court's going to get any additional information from what I guess Mr. Watts kind of just, and the court just gleaned from Mr. Ketley, but we can certainly do it under oath.
I get the impression you're wanting to pursue that. Very well. Mr. Ketley, you're going to be giving some testimony in the court. I'll need to administer an oath to you at this time. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give and the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
You may question the witness, Ms. Norris.
Please state your name and occupation for the record.
Ed Ketley, I work with 13th Judicial Community Corrections.
And how long have you been with Community Corrections?
6.5 years here.
Okay. And how long have you been supervising Ms. Schreibvogel?
Since February of 23.
And has she been reporting to you, or has she been courtesy supervised elsewhere?
Both.
Okay.
She reported to me, and then I transferred to Sedgwick County, and then she had issues with Sedgwick County, so then they transferred her back to me, and then I would meet her in Wichita.
Okay. And you said you've been supervising her since February of 23.
Correct.
You requested a warrant to show cause regarding her probation.
Yes.
And for what reasons?
Mostly due to she just stopped reporting. This is like the second or third time she's done this. She reports for a while, and then I just lose track of her. I don't know where she goes.
Okay. And had she completed substance abuse treatment at the time that you did this warrant in July of this year?
No. And then all actually, the last time we actually even spoke about treatment was June of 18, and she was going to the Wichita Treatment Center for methadone. Said she hadn't been going there due to she'd lost her Medicaid. She was trying to get her Medicaid reinstated, and then that was the last time roughly I seen her.
Okay, but to your knowledge, yeah, that date or around that date, you have not gotten any information from her about her completing substance abuse treatment as she was required by, I think originally in this case back in February of 23.
I have not.
Okay. And has she completed any treatment that you are aware of in the time that she has been on probation?
She did initially completed inpatient treatment. She went from one mirror facility to another because of stairs and that type of stuff, but she didn't complete inpatient.
Okay, but as part of her program, she was to complete outpatient?
Correct.
And would the methadone clinic be considered outpatient, or I mean, is that a qualifying facility?
It's not necessarily a Senate Bill 123 provider. However, if they choose to go there, we allow them to go there. And one thing about it is it's actually right in the parking lot of Community Corrections over in Cedar County.
And she has not been paying on her case.
No.
And we've previously had a warrant to show cause in this case, have we not?
Yes.
And when you did that warrant, what were those allegations at the last hearing?
She failed to contact me as directed, and then treatment issues.
Okay, so treatment issues and reporting kind of seem to be a consistent theme throughout her probation.
Correct.
Thank you, Mr. Ketley.
Mr. Watts, do you have questions for Mr. Ketley?
Thank you, Your Honor. You note that she failed to report on June 4, June 25, July 2nd, and July 16, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And I know she stipulated those, but what was her regular reporting? Was it once a week? Was it once a month?
It was, I had her reporting. I only go to Wichita every other week, every other Tuesday. So I had her reporting every other Tuesday.
Okay. Now, that's just substance abuse, which is what this particular line of questioning is about. She completed an inpatient treatment facility, is that correct?
Correct. With mirror, yes.
When was that?
Back in June of 23.
Okay. Now, I presume that there would have been some sort of a follow-up, a outpatient, which would follow that, correct?
Correct. She was supposed to
Okay.
go to mirror, correct. Outpatient.
Okay. Did she do that outpatient?
But she did not, and that's roughly when she thought it would be better for her to transfer to the Wichita Treatment Center.
Okay. Instead of doing the outpatient, she went to the methadone center.
Correct, which is, I mean, if you know anything about that, they go daily to begin with, and they have treatment sessions roughly every day.
Okay. Just so I'm clear, was that a treatment change that you were aware of and were okay with?
Yes, I was okay with that.
Okay. So she did, in fact, now I don't know if she completed the methadone. Her normal probation would have expired in August of this year, correct?
Correct.
In fact, if I read my notes right, August 6th.
Correct.
So this warrant is literally days short of the completion of her probation.
Correct.
Okay. And at that time, she was doing a methadone clinic consistent with your approval as a follow-up to the mirrors, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Now, methadone is a step-down treatment program.
Yes.
Is that right?
Supposed to be,
In other words,
supposed
you
to be,
take
yeah.
it, it's supposed to be. You take methadone. As you take it, you step down the dosage until ultimately you no longer need it.
Correct.
Okay. Was Ms. Schrievogel stepping down as the program had intended?
She had got to the point to where she was only, I think she was down to 3 times a week, I believe, because they start off daily and then they slowly progress down to where you don't have to go every day. So I think she was roughly down to 3 times a week.
Okay. Is that a normal progression for using a methadone clinic?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I don't think I have anything else. Thank you, Your Honor.
Ms. Norris, do you have further questions for Mr. Catley?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
All right. Does the state have other evidence to present?
No, Your Honor.
Regarding the one contested issue in the case, Mr. Watts, did you intend to present any testimony or other evidence?
No, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. Court does find pursuant to what's been presented here that the evidence in the case indicates that the defendant has failed to complete substance abuse treatment as recommended. However, the court does note, however, the efforts that this particular defendant has made toward that goal. Even if she hasn't successfully completed in the fullest sense, there has at least been some partial success in her treatment program over a period of time, which the court will take into account in its ultimate disposition of the case. Ms. Schreibvogel, pursuant to what was earlier announced, you've agreed to waive hearing on 1 and 3, which is failing to report, failing to make monthly payments. You understand that you are entitled to a hearing on those allegations as well.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And that you have a right to challenge the state's evidence in regards to that, and present your own evidence at such a hearing and confront the state's witnesses unless good cause was shown. Do you understand these things?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You do understand that if the court accepts this stipulation to 1 and 3, based on its finding on number 2, that you could be facing an outright revocation of your probation or lesser sanctions in the discretion of the court.
Yes, Your Honor.
So you're waiving a formal hearing and stipulating formally to the allegations number 1 and number 3 in the warrant to show cause?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very well. Court does find that the defendant herself has waived a hearing in this case and stipulates and agrees that she committed those violations. Court further made a finding as to number 2, the failure to complete treatment. Court does find substantial failure to meet the probation conditions in this case. Court wishes to seek recommendations regarding an appropriate disposition. We'll start with Amber Norris on behalf of the Butler County Attorney's Office.
Thank you, Your Honor. We previously noted that she's been on probation since February of 2023 with Community Corrections. The court did see her again for probation violation on September 29 of 2023, where the court did give her 3 days in the county jail as a sanction. As previously been noted by Mr. Ketley, her problems have been consistently following through on treatment and reporting. And obviously this show cause is no different. And I don't believe that she's paid. I don't think anything over the course of the case, but she certainly still owes a fair amount in her case, which for the most part, I believe is costs and fees as opposed to a significant amount of restitution. And Your Honor, it does not appear that, that she's necessarily learning the lessons, especially as far as, payment and reporting, as she's previously been before the court in September of 23 for these same issues. And so, Your Honor, at this juncture, I'm not sure there's more that Mr. Ketley can actually do with her to actually successfully get her through this probation if she's not going to report and do as instructed. So state would be requesting that the court revoke the defendant's probation. She has an underlying balance of 18 months. She has somewhere in the realm, let's see, she's been in 7 days on the arrest for this warrant. And she previously had about 46 days. I'd leave it to court's discretion if the court is inclined to modify the defendant's sentence. But Your Honor, I just don't know that Mr. Ketley supervising her further is going to change her issues that she already has on probation. And the court will need to address additional court-appointed attorney's fees and the bids application fee.
Very well, Ms. Norris. Mr. Ketley, as the community corrections officer assigned to this case, do you have any independent recommendations or thoughts that you wish to share with the court?
Your Honor, I guess the only thing that I would say is that I had mentioned with Ms. Norris that I don't think she's going to be successful on probation, you know, and I was thinking maybe give her a sanction 30, 60 days and then just close her case.
Very well, thank you for sharing your thoughts, Mr. Ketley. Mr. Watts, your recommendations regarding an appropriate disposition?
Thank you, Your Honor. Judge, I was trying to imagine in this case that Ms. Schriebvogel is such a danger to society that we need to lock her up for 18 months. And I cannot in my wildest dreams imagine that's the case here. This is a case where when she missed her days, apparently in June and July, this case would have expired on August 6th of 2023. As Your Honor has noted, although she hasn't fully completed the treatment program, she has been regularly going to it. She completed the inpatient portion of it. She went to the outpatient, converted that to a methadone replacement at Mr. Ketley's knowledge and approval, and has been regularly and correctly and properly going through that process, stepping down as she should, as Mr. Ketley noted, doing appropriate progress on that treatment program. She's failed to make monthly payments. She has, frankly, very little income. Ms. Schriebvogel noted she's now facing a cancer diagnosis and treatment. She showed me her hair falling out on top of her head. I won't tell the court that I remember the exact diagnosis, but she's struggling with her own health and the ability to work. I cannot imagine a case that is less calls for sitting in the Department of Corrections for 18 months than this one. Should there be a sanction here? Perhaps there should. But as Ms. Ketley noted, or as Mr. Ketley noted, this is a case that really calls to be closed. While she has not completed the treatment and completed the probation, she has done substantially toward that probation. She missed toward the end on those 4 days. She is still doing the treatment as directed. I presume she's no longer taking the methadone there in the jail. And the fact that she's now been in the jail for about a week and not taking the methadone, and she did not report any substantive symptoms from not taking that methadone this week, may tell us she's frankly a good candidate for ending that methadone treatment at this point. Judge, I think that a sanction, as Mr. Ketley noted, would be appropriate in the 30-day range and then terminate this case. I cannot imagine having her sit at taxpayer expense for 18 months in Topeka.
Thank you, Mr. Watts. Court will address Melanie Schriebvogel at this time, and I'll ask her if she has any statements that she wishes to make in mitigation of punishment.
Honor, since I've been on corrections, my daughter died, my oldest daughter, and I've been able to see my grandkids and everything, and my great-grandchildren. She had a brain aneurysm, and she donated her heart to a 50-year-old lady and gave her life. But I've really learned a lot. Ed has helped me out, and he has really, really made an effect on me. I haven't, received any new charges or anything. I struggled to go to the clinic. I went to their treatment. I went to their groups. I went to grief groups, and I met a lot of good people in the church. And I am, doing way better. And my great-grandchildren, they depend on me, and I see them regularly, and I miss them. And it's going to be the holidays, and I did try. I am disabled and I couldn't pay my fees, but I can start paying now because I told my other daughter that I needed some help paying them. And she said, "Mom, I'll help you out to pay the court." She said, "We just want you home, Mom." And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be, pitiful, but we've all lost somebody we love. But I want to thank you all, no matter what you do to me. I want to thank you for saving my life, basically. Y'all saved my life. Putting me in the treatment program at Mears was wonderful. I met good people. I still talk to them. I still communicate with them. I tried to communicate with Ed and I was confused. I really thought I was off. I received a letter that said I was off, but I did owe fines and I knew I owed fines. And I, had told my family that until I get my disability, that I needed help paying them and I will pay them because I don't want to not pay them. I don't want to have a warrant. And that's all. Sorry. Not meaning to go on and on.
Have you been qualified for Social Security disability?
I'm in the process. It's in appeal right now because I did get disability before in Arkansas. And then I came here and Kansas cut me off somehow. I had to get a new doctor, but I do have like some health issues. I won't get into that, but my lawyer stated that. But sir, I really have a path to a good, this has helped me out, this corrections. And I thank you for everything because I tried hard and I'm still trying. And it's got me I'm way better than I used to be. I don't use illegal drugs or anything anymore. I haven't gotten any new charges. I just want to be a grandma, a great grandma, and honor my daughter that passed away, and she would want me to do that, And I was down on, I don't want to even be on methadone. I don't even like it. It's not good for me. So, I'm totally off. Like my lawyer said, I haven't had any problems. I'm working in the kitchen, not full time, but I'm trying. So, I just basically, I want to thank Ed for supervising me. And I'm sorry that I didn't make the few appointments, and that's all I have to say. Sorry.
Makes me wonder, why didn't you go report to your officer like you were supposed to?
I was confused on the dates. And then I didn't have a ride a couple times. And I called. I was at the place trying to get my Medicaid back, and they kept telling me, "Well, wait here a minute." And I was way on the west side of town that one day, and I tried to catch the bus. I got on the wrong bus. I promise that's what happened. I did try. I was so upset.
Well, you failed any number of times, though. It wasn't just once.
Yeah, a couple times. Yeah. I was staying in a women's shelter, and it was hard to get there sometimes. But I was, doing better. I just, trying to get on my feet.
Where would you live if you got out of jail?
Where would I live? I would live with my son and my other daughter that are I live with them, and I have my great grandkids there, and I watch them.
Okay, where is that?
Oh, it's in Wichita, sir. So I could continue my counseling at the methadone clinic, and I don't want to take the methadone, but I like the counselors there, and they are probably going to refer me to maybe back to Mirrors because I really enjoyed it there. I did good there, and I still even talk to them.
You think methadone is bad? What about methamphetamine and fentanyl? I
That's
think
worse.
what this court would be worried about.
Oh, that's terrible. No, I'm scared to death of that stuff. I don't do that. No, I'm old. I'm almost 60. I'm a great grandma of six great grandbabies.
Well, I don't necessarily consider 60 old.
Oh, I do. What do you consider old?
Older than that. What I'm trying to do is ascertain your situation. What do we do with you? What do you think we should do here?
So that would be at your discretion. I would appreciate and honor if you let me go home and get back with my great grandbabies. I take care of them a lot and I love them so much, and honor my daughter that passed away and be a good mother, a good grandmother, a good great grandmother. And I would still go and see Ed if I needed to. Like I said, it helped me, it built me up. Like he built me up to, he didn't get mad at me like when I would talk to him, and he knows a lot of my problems. And I just thank you guys for saving my life. Whatever you do, it's at your discretion. And I mean that with my whole heart. I have a will to live again.
How does this court know you're not going to backslide?
I think I would have already done that if I were. I don't want to be on any substance. I had a lot of surgeries and I had an opiate problem, and then I got on methadone, and now I don't even need that. I'm feeling better. My bladder cancer's in remission actually. So, like I said, I just want to live every day and not be a menace to society and be a criminal. My case was back in 2020, and I had gone to the emergency room and I had used my sister's name, and I'm sorry for that, and I will never do that again. I promise I haven't gotten in any more trouble. I mean, I haven't done any drugs or stealing or anything like that, because that's bad. I was a foster mother before, and I did it before, and I can do it again. I worked for the Kansas Children's Service League and the American Heart Association, so I do have it in me to do good. I do. I promise. I won't let y'all down.
Wouldn't it be yourself and your family that you're letting down?
Oh, definitely. Yes, definitely.
Not us.
Right. But I know, but like, y'all are the authority, and so you have to go by God, the authority, and that's how it goes. And then, yeah, they've noticed a lot change in me. They said, "We're glad you were on corrections, Mom." They said it made you go in a good way.
Anything else?
No, sir. I don't want to take up y'all time.
No, no. Ms. Schreivogel, you're worth it.
Thank you.
I find myself agreeing with Ms. Norris when she presented to the court. I find myself agreeing with Mr. Ketley when he presented to the court. And I find myself agreeing with Mr. Watts when he presented to the court. I always ask a defendant in similar circumstances if they have any statements that they wish to make to the court in mitigation of punishment when I'm facing what sanctions to impose as a result of probation violation. Amazingly, there are some people who never take advantage of that opportunity. Today you did, Melanie, and I think you spoke from the heart. I just don't know. I don't really regard you as the type of person that would be so cunning as to develop that little speech and not mean it. So I'm going to take you at face value that to the extent that this system meant to rehabilitate you and work with you, I think the efforts have been made. I think your progress has been substantial, though not complete by any means.
Yes, sir.
I'm disappointed you didn't report like clockwork and as directed.
Me too.
Without excuses. Just make sure that you make those appointments, because that's one of the easiest things that you're asked to do.
Right.
The treatment part's very difficult.
Right.
But you did complete outpatient treatment and then continue to seek help to some extent after your inpatient treatment portion.
Yes, sir.
Furthermore, I have no doubt that paying the amounts in this case that are owed has been a financial difficulty for you. You, in the view of this court, Ms. Schreivogel, are not prison material. You're not the kind of person that we need to send off. I do wonder if I'm doing a disservice to you, because I know that if I sent you to prison, I would hope that you'd be separated from all drugs and drug culture the entire time you're in a penitentiary. The same thing can usually be accomplished in a local jail. But at some point, you have to make it on your own in the community. And I think you're very close to that time. I do agree with Mr. Ketley. He gave a very honest assessment to this court that there's probably nothing else that our probation program is going to do. This court agrees. You are at least partially successful here.
Yes, sir.
There needs to be a sanction for your noncompliance, not just based on your inability to make bond, Ms. Schreivogel. But I do think that to some extent, it's time to cut you loose from all of this and let you have a chance of making it in the community on your own.
Okay.
Court is going to order as a sanction for noncompliance in this case that you remain in the Butler County Jail until 11 o'clock a.m. on Thanksgiving Day.
Thank you, sir.
Then at time, I expect your family members are going to come get you and you're
Oh,
going to
yes.
celebrate Thanksgiving with them.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm working in the kitchen. Yeah. I'll never forget this.
And upon your release, we're going to close this case.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you,
Um,
Mr. Watson. Thank you, Mr. Ketley.
Your recognition of what the system has tried to do for you has spoke volumes to this court about the possibilities of success after you're released. Mr. Ketley's done what he could. Now it's up to you.
Okay.
And I hope you're not offended when I say, I hope I don't see you again
I'm not.
in a situation such as this.
Exactly. Thank
Okay.
you so much, Your Honor.
Have you completed that case from Sedgwick County and from 2017?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. That's a long time ago. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I knew this case was to run consecutive to that. This is an opportunity and perhaps a break that you've been given,
Yes.
but I hope it's an opportunity that you appreciate and seize.
It is, sir.
Good luck to you.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
The amounts, I'm not going to add any additional amounts for bids assessments. I don't see how she has the financial resources to pay them. However, the amounts that were previously owed in this case remain. They'll be turned over to a collection agency if they haven't been already.
I will
These are
try.
all immediately due and payable with the amount that's still owed, which I think was $438.
Yes, sir.
So you're going to have to pay that eventually.
I will. I will.
In the manner that you can.
Okay. I will. Even
And
if
you
it's
should thank
$30.
Mr. Watts for a job well done on your behalf.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Ed, too.
All right. Ms.
All
Norris,
right.
is there any other matter that we need to cover here?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Mr.
Thank
Watts, are you aware of anything further?
No, sir. Thank you.
Again, good luck, Melanie. I hope you
Thank
make
you,
it.
sir. Thank you.
I'll order her in custody of the Butler County Sheriff until 11 o'clock a.m. on Thanksgiving Day. And that date is November the 28th at 11 o'clock. She's to be released at that time and this case closed.
Thank you.
The court is in recess.